We also want to know how you deal with those that are still in the Champions League. I mean, at the moment, if everything stands as the way it looks like it's going, PSG will lift it without even having to kick another ball. Connor is an Arsenal fan. He's called up. Hi, Connor. What would you like to say?
Morning, Connor.
Morning, guys. How you doing?
Morning.
Very well,
right.
mate.
Good. I'm just sickened to be an Arsenal fan, to be honest with you. I've been going for years and years and years, and I will never put another pound in that Stan Kroenke's pocket, because he's sold. We don't deserve to be anywhere near some Super League for starters, because we are absolutely dreadful. And he's selling the history of this club. He's going off the history of this club to say that we have got a deserved right to be in this competition. They don't care about us fans either. They're happy to keep putting up tickets prices. They'd rather these games go abroad, these Super League games to go abroad. They don't care about the normal fans who go every week. They'd rather the money get generated abroad. It's just greed. It's just nothing about these owners who care anything about this club at all. They bought it on the history of the club, and now they're selling the history of the club to go join this league that's got nothing to do with what Arsenal is all about. We used to be called the Arsenal. We're not the Arsenal anymore.
Connor, I mean, obviously, if Arsenal do join this Super League, I mean, what punishment do you think should be taken against Arsenal and the other clubs?
Well, they shouldn't be in the Premier League. Honestly, how can you? This club has been brought up. There's been known to be tradition in the club, class. There's no class or tradition anymore. It's turned into a franchise. They want to be a franchise. Get out of the league.
Do you think you'll boycott when fans are allowed back in?
Well, I ain't going to go back there. I'll still support. I feel sorry for the players because it's not their. I feel sorry for the managers. It's not them. They shouldn't be getting punished for it. It's the owners. It's greed. They're trying. These American owners. They're used to, like, in America. They've got the Rams and all this. He owns the Rams. They don't get relegated. They play in the NFL. Even if they lose every game, they're still there. They still earn money. In this new league, they're going to be earning money no matter win, lose or draw. Where's the incentive to try and win, to try and be ambitious? We're not ambitious in the best of times. Yeah,
Connor, thank you for your call. Well said there.
Do you know what? He made a good point there in terms of, he said about the American sports and they lose every game. And you see teams in the NFL tanking because obviously they want the number one picks every season.
That's it. They've got the draft system.
They've got the draft.
Are they going to want to do that in this league?
That's what I'm saying. They can't just keep getting battered. But that is the issue, is that if they are going to be allowed to stay in the Premier League and do this European Super competition, it's going to be one of them where their Premier League form really is irrelevant then. There is no competition, because if they're going to be in it every single season, then what is there? They're going to use that Super League as you're going to start seeing them play second string, third string teams in the Premier League and use obviously their main players for this Super League.
Michael is a Leeds fan. Michael, what would you like to say?
Oh, well, good morning. My point is a bit different. We've got all these pundits and everybody. Sorry, I'm it's all bleeding heart to the players. But my point is it not the players and their wage demands who have forced this on the clubs?
I think really with this, Michael, I've seen a lot of finger pointing across the last sort of day and a half. Players' wages, money from TV companies like my company Sky, like BT as well, driving up the prices. The Premier League setting the prices at a certain level in the first place. Football in general has completely, in my opinion, spinned out of control in terms of the money that goes in. It's not just the money that goes in, it's the money that comes out as well and goes to agents' fees and all that sort of stuff. I think it has to take a long, hard look at himself as well. There's a lot of blaming going around, and I don't think one thing is to blame. I think everybody should share a bit of that blame, if I'm perfectly honest. I work for a big company, work for Sky, work for talkSPORT as well. The reason I work for both those companies is because I love football, I love the Premier League. I was 21 when I joined Sky. I joined as a runner. I have no idea what goes on behind closed doors in terms of all of these decision makings, who signs things up, where these prices come from in the first place. I think a lot of it is done way above everybody's heads. It's a bit like saying to a player, blaming the player, but ultimately, is it the player's fault or is it the price tag that somebody else puts on his head? It's really difficult.
Do you think this is a chance for football to reset?
I do. I really do. I don't know how that happens though, Darren, because no one else still has the power. The same people still have the power at the very top of the tree. Jurgen Klopp made a really good point yesterday, saying that we're all pointing the finger at the European Super League. UEFA were the ones that came to Jurgen Klopp and said, look, we want to change the way the Champions League is going. We want more games. And he said, well, no, we don't want any more games. But it doesn't matter what Jurgen Klopp thinks. It still goes ahead.
Yeah.
You know, FIFA wanted to put a Club World Cup in. They do that. Ultimately, it's all about money. So I don't know how you... I don't know. I feel like the horse has already bolted in that, in terms of where the money goes. And it almost will take a huge crash or maybe something like this. I don't know. I wish I had more experience with it. Jimmy, you're a Liverpool fan. What would you like to say?
Well, I'd like to see the other 14 Premier League clubs get together and get them out of the Premier League. When as a kid, as Ali was a kid and Darren, you grow up and you want to play football for your team. You want to play in competitions. You want to win competitions. That's the same for every kid all over the place. I've been to Madrid, in Milan. I've also been to places like Bucharest, Bratislava, Celta Vigo. These teams are never going to have the chance to play against all these clubs that are out there playing now. They're taking away not just what we all grew up wanting to do, they're taking it away from everyone everywhere. And the only way that I can see with these clubs taking this lawsuit out yesterday, they're deadly serious. So let's have player power. Let's say to the players, the ones who grew up fulfilling our dreams and fulfilling their dreams, let's say to them players, when you play in the top six, walk off the pitch, go on strike. You're all in a union. Get yourselves together and do what's best for the fans and the clubs who are going to be affected by it all, and stand up against them. It's the only way that we can do it. It's the same in society. The little people have to stand up against these big clubs and do it now. There's no other way. I don't see any other way of doing it.
Jimmy, I was going to ask you, mate, do you not have I would imagine you will have a degree of sympathy. But like say, for your own club, for example, the two people I've heard right at the top of the club, James Milner and indeed Jurgen Klopp, they've clearly stated that they're not fans of it. So you've got to have a degree of sympathy for those guys, have you not?
I do have a degree of sympathy, but unfortunately, the fallout is not just now, is it? It's taken away the whole history of what we've ever had. Yeah. And it's taken away the future for all the kids in the future and people in the future. And if we have to have a little bit of collateral right now for everything that we've stood for and everything that we want in the future, then that has to be the collateral, unfortunately. You know, Jurgen's a man of integrity. He hates it. He's probably, he'd probably be quite happy to walk. But I'd back him if he did. And I'd back any of the other clubs who wanted to get rid of these clubs out of the Premier League. Like I say, there's teams in Iceland, Norway, all over the place, Poland. They wanted to play against these big clubs that are out there. They're not going to have that chance ever again. So we're not just taking it away from our country, we're taking it away from everybody. Yeah. And this isn't just a UK thing. I know the radio's here, but everyone around Europe has to get together and say, no, we're not having this. It's still our dreams to play against Barcelona. I went to Celta Vigo, and this little lady, must have been about 80-year-old, she said, we play against Barcelona and Real Madrid every year. This is the biggest game we've ever had to play against Liverpool. It was a full stadium. They loved it. They want other clubs, Granada, welcoming Manchester United. This is what football's all about. And it's not about these big clubs just going, do you know what? Everything that we have ever gone for, see you later. Mm-hmm. No. And it's the only way to do it is for the little people, the smaller clubs, to come out en masse and say, do you know what? We're not going to play against you. Stuff you. We don't care. And we understand that the players may miss out. But there's a bigger picture It's not this little picture that they're going for the money. It's the bigger picture, and it's the future of football and the future of everyone's dreams who want to play for them clubs and play against these clubs.
Well said, Jimmy.
And that's what's been taken away.
Yeah, well said, Jimmy. Thank you so much for your call. Jimmy also mentioned players and what they should do. The PFA did release a statement, ultimately, in so many words, condemning it. And they just said that they will work with the players as well. I wonder what advice they're giving to the players, because if the calls are now that the players should be doing something more about it.
What can the players do? Because there's nothing's been set in stone yet.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard giving out kind of advice and taking these measures if we don't quite know what we're taking a stance, well, not what we're taking a stance against, but what can actually be done.